Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you back here. As you can tell, something's different. I got my natural hair out today and some of you guys are like, I don't know who this girl is. Am I subscribed to her? Yes, I know I look super young when I wear my hair, my natural hair down especially, which is probably why I don't do it as much. But anyway, today we're going to be doing a kind of chatty video. I just feel like I want to sit down, I want to do my makeup, I want to chat with you guys. I don't want to have to worry about reviewing products right now. I do have some new products. I have some current favorites that I'm going to be bringing out. Today's video is just a chance to sit down and connect with you guys because there might be some new faces here. So for eye primer, I'm using the Fenty Beauty eye primer. It's a really nice primer. It definitely took me like a while to get used to it and figure out how to work with it for my eye shape, but I do like how it makes eye colors super bright and bold, and I always have to set it with my Fenty Beauty Invisimatte. So here's a couple things that I want to touch on. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I've kind of been having fun, like exploring. I've been to Montreal, I've been to Quebec City, which is actually a super close trip for me because, you know, Vermont, it's like, what, 2.5 hours to Montreal? Especially since this was my first like East Coast winter, which is way more intense than a California winter. If you guys know, you know. But I really love that like now I can just get out and explore because that's what I've been wanting to do ever since I moved here, and being stuck inside was just like, it was a really big downer. On the one hand, it was great because I was able to focus on my YouTube channel, create content, and really just like make sure I stuck to my goals and accomplish the things that I wanted to. So in that respect, it was like amazing, you know, because it was like, you don't have a choice, girl, like you gotta work. But you know, there is a part of me outside of my YouTube channel that loves to be adventurous, loves to travel, and I was just really sad that I couldn't do that. But for those of you guys that live on the East Coast, it might not be such a big deal. You might be like, well, that's life, you know, or maybe you plan to go on vacations when the winter gets kind of tough, which is maybe what I need to do in the future if we stay here. But I just fell in love with Montreal. Montreal is like the most beautiful, like European-ish city in the North America region. It's just so cool and so much culture and everybody's so nice. And you know, I tried to speak a little bit of French. I do know some French. I was really good in school, like, but after, like, you don't really practice, you know what I mean, when you're outside of school. And my parents speak French, but we don't really like speak French in the house or when we're talking on the phone or anything. So, you know, it was kind of like a bit intimidating for me, but I found that people were so nice and so receptive. As long as you kind of like tried to speak a little bit of French, they were at least open and friendly. So I'm just kind of like dabbing this on the outside. I didn't tell you guys, but I'm using the Profusion Cosmetics, the Siennas palette, and I have loved this. This is like the third, maybe the third or fourth time I'm using this. It is so freaking good, guys. You gotta get this. It's only like $10 at Target. So I got my BoxyCharm box and they recently sent the Laura Lee palette. Now this is the Party Animal palette. And I know this probably won't look like much on camera. It probably looks duller than it is in real life. But like I opened this and I was like, damn, Laura, you don't have to hurt us like this. And my favorites, of course, is that they've got this beautiful, like, dark purple shade right here. It's called Hungover. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that as my lid color. I'm getting a little spicy with my colors. Ooh, this looks very pigmented. And it has a little bit of fallout, as you can maybe see, not really. Another vacation destination, you guys, that I got to go to recently was I got the opportunity to go to Oregon. And I have never been to Oregon, even though I'm born and raised in California, grew up there. You know, sometimes when you live in a certain spot, it's just, you just never get to traveling around what's closest to you, you know? And my friend that got married, she is one of my college friends, and we actually lived together for a couple of years, a good couple of years. I had a really big group of friends in college, and I just was like so freaking happy to see them. I've always taken for granted that I've been able to really make friends quickly. Like growing up, I had like such close friends, and in high school and in college, and now that I'm like married and grown and I had to move away, I really like am able to just look back and be like, wow, those were some amazing times, and not a lot of people get to experience that. So it was really great just getting to like get together and like celebrate. And my friend and her husband are just so adorable together. You can really tell, you can tell just how much they love each other and that they're like truly made for each other. I just like love weddings. Like I love, they just like give you the feels, you know? So this eyeshadow is great. I think it's best applied with the fingers. I get the best payoff, but I kind of thought it would be more pigmented than that. And there's a hell of a lot of fallout. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's a lot. Like I feel like the quality could have been better here because the colors are beautiful, but if I just apply it with the brush, you can see that the colors definitely move around. So that's a bit unfortunate. Honestly, you know what I think would be better? I have my Jaclyn Hill palette here, and I think that this purple shade would go really great on top of it because it's just not giving me the pigmentation that I want. It's super disappointing. Yes. Jaclyn Hill, she never does me wrong. So I'm going back into my Siennas palette. I've got this color called Groovy here, and I'm just going to put this in the outer crease. So unfortunately, the purple color in the Laura palette was a no-go for me. I had to top it off, you guys saw, with my Jaclyn Hill palette, but I did finish off the eyes, and I have these cool lashes I want to show you. They are so freaking beautiful. These are from House of Lashes. This is the Boudoir mini style. So while I wait for my lash glue to dry, back to my Oregon trip, it was just, like I said, so much fun, and it really made me realize how much I miss having like just like a strong like female group, and unfortunately I think a lot of people don't really touch on this, but you know, when you start a YouTube channel and you're really grinding on it, trying to make it be successful, it takes so much of your time and your energy, and I wish I had all that time that I used to foster my friendships and, you know, do fun things, make memories with friends. But I just realized it's like not even like how most people say, oh, I'm just busy, and they really just don't want to do something. Like I literally don't even have that kind of time anymore. So it's really sad, but like I know that I have an end goal that I'm trying to accomplish, and hopefully, you know, when my channel does get bigger, I'll have more free time like that to go and, you know, hang out with some of my old friends that I miss. Wow. I like this lash so far. The lash glue is still pretty wet, but I didn't even have to cut these, you guys. Like, that's pretty bomb. I'm actually really happy with the way these lashes look. I'm pleasantly surprised. So for primer today, I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty. This is the Matte Perfection Primer. And it goes on and it definitely feels watery, but when it dries on your face, it feels so matte. And I've been using this for like a couple weeks already, and I really like it. I like pairing it with the NYX, the Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation. They work really nicely together and help keep me matte like all day, because girl, child, this humidity is something else. I've never lived somewhere where it was so humid, and at my husband's job, like people who have lived in Vermont like their whole lives were like, yeah, this is the most humid summer we've ever had. I was like, great, thanks. Oh my gosh, this makes me look even more like a little girl. Oh boy. But I gotta love it, you know, ain't nothing wrong with looking younger than your age. It's kind of a blessing, and I get that on my mom's side of the family for sure. I'm just adding a little bit of my Bobbi Brown. This is the Vitamin Enriched Face Base, and I put it right under my eyes, because if I don't do this, my under eyes will look cakey with a matte foundation. And while this primer is kind of like doing its thing setting, I'm gonna take the MAC Fix Plus Matte, I'm gonna shake it up and then spritz it all over. And the cool thing about this is once the Fix Plus Matte dries down, the foundation will go on so smooth. Ugh, I just love this. This whole thing is like a game changer for the summer. Now we got some foundation. So the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop, I'm gonna combine Sienna and I'm gonna combine Mocha. I do have to say, I haven't found my exact shade. I keep bouncing between different ones, but I do love the formula so much. That's why I'm willing to work with it, to be quite honest with you, because it's just a dream. It looks so beautiful. So I'm just got this on the back of my hand. I'm gonna mix these two. If you guys haven't seen my original review of this, you gotta check it out. It does include a wear test, and also it's kind of like a breakdown of all the different shades. And I'm gonna be using my Luxie brush to spread this out. It's actually a pretty decent shade that I got this time. So I'm actually quite happy with the shade that I got by mixing one large pump of Mocha and just a tiny bit of Sienna. I think that's probably like the best that I'm gonna get. This concealer from Laura Mercier, and what shade is this? This is shade 6N. It's interesting, I've never actually used it before. This is the first time I'm gonna use it. First off, it spreads really, really nicely. This wand is kind of thin, so you do have to really take your time. So one of my favorite things to do when I'm not working, I love reading. I'm like a huge reader, and I read a lot of like science fiction, fantasy books, but something that I also love is I love reading like motivational books, self-help books. I've always loved that category for like as long as I can remember, probably like back to like high school. And something that I've like super been focusing on is I want to create like a really great morning routine where when I get up in the morning, I don't, you know, look at my phone, answer emails, get on social media. I want to instead get up every morning, you know, meditate, read, or to listen to an audiobook that's like got a motivational message behind it, just because I feel like it's gonna set me up for the day so much better than like engaging with social media. Sometimes I think reading that or being on social media right when you get up or right when you go to bed just kind of like sets you up the wrong way. Does that make sense? So on my quest to basically, you know, adopt a new morning routine, one that's a bit more positive, I've really started getting into Les Brown. He is an amazing, amazing motivational speaker. Like if you ever feel like you're down or you feel like you can't accomplish something, Les Brown will make you get off your butt. He will really make you feel like you could just take over the world. And I think in our world that's so full of negativity, we need that dose of positivity every day to like reinvigorate us, you know, because sometimes it can just be like so just like, it just drains you. So I'm taking my Milani setting powder. This is the shade medium to deep, and I'm just going to use this to dust underneath my eyes. I try not to do the sweeping too much, but if I just press in like right here and press in right where my creases are, because I want to make sure that I set that correctly. So like I said, I've been listening to Les Brown. I've also been really reading, there's this book called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and the title kind of sounds a bit funny, but honestly, like it's really more about the mindset of people who are very successful financially. And I don't mean like successful and then lose it all. I mean truly successful both in their mind, emotionally, and financially. what those practices and the ways of thinking about dealing with money, how those people apply them, is really, really fascinating. And even if you're not a big reader, I highly, highly suggest that you check that book out, or just check it out on the audiobook version of it and see if it's something that you're interested in. Just because I think, like, growing up, my mom, she always read books about like financial success, and she really, really, really inspired me to just, you know, be more conscious instead of just like worrying about, oh my gosh, okay, what's happening right now with my financial situation. Be more conscious of how I can change any habits and how I can make better financial decisions. Not that I've ever really made any bad ones, but, you know, just quite honestly saying we can always improve, right? Like, I mean, you're never too like financially stable. You're never, you know, too above learning more about your finances. Ooh, I edited a lot there. So again, for those of you guys that are interested, it's called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Another one that I highly suggest is, it's called, gosh, How to Win and Influence Friends. And it sounds kind of like a cheesy little like self-help book, but honestly, like that book, if you struggle dealing with people and you just don't know, like you constantly find yourselves in conflict with people and you have a hard time getting along with people in general, that's an amazing, amazing book. So back to my Laura Mercier powder, I'm going to take this one and just clean up my contour, and I'm using the like set and roll technique, or the pat and roll technique, to push this into the skin. Do it and you see how nice it looks. Like, I feel like it looks so much more flawless. There's something about this technique, and I mean, I've liked this powder before, but I've never been like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, until I started trying this technique from their little PR kit that they sent. So if you haven't tried this out before, definitely, you gotta do it. So just to add some more color around my bottom part of my face, I'm gonna use the Too Faced Born This Way. This is the Translucent Deep. I feel like this year was the year of the setting powders, and it's the year of the foundations, girl. So many freaking foundations and powders have come out, and I've been loving that because honestly, previously there were only like a couple powders that worked really well for me before. And I'm just going to apply this in sweeping motions, kind of where I want to apply a little bit of shadow. Okay, so for blush, I'm going to go into this palette here. This is from Profusion Cosmetics. I think I might have showed you guys. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with this one, a Lovejoy. If you can see it right here, such a pretty pink color. I'm just going to go really light. Wow, I keep saying this, you guys, but Profusion Cosmetics is really slept on. Like, damn, I didn't know that I was gonna have something that was this pigmented. Now, I do want to put some inner corner highlight, so I'm gonna go with this Pixi. It's their glowy subtle sunrise little duo set, and I'm gonna use this color, if it will show you. This color right here. So again, if those of you guys are like thinking about kind of just like modifying your morning routines to like set you up for success, whatever your version of success is, I highly suggest that you listen to motivational stuff in the mornings. It could be something that you find in an audiobook or via YouTube or anything like that, just because it's really like changed my mindset and helped like get me in a more positive mindset for the day. And something I also do every day is I set my intention for the day. So I think about what I want to accomplish, like my to-do list, if you will, and then just a general thing. Like, for example, I'm going to tell you what that is, but first off, I'm using the Glow powder from Laura Mercier that I did a review on. And basically, my intention for today was to proceed throughout the day with kindness and compassion, whether it's kindness and compassion for myself, for others, just, you know, like we all need a little bit more kindness and compassion in our lives. And also, I think if you are religious, you can incorporate pray something, a verse from the Bible that helps you kind of set your intention from the day. I just think those things are really, really helpful. And also something else that I've been doing that has helped me kind of with my morning routine is I've been writing down what I'm grateful for every single day. It's so important to remind yourself. And I definitely don't want to come off preachy or anything like that. I just think that these are some techniques that I've really been enjoying that just kind of help put me in a more positive mood for the day and a more productive mood. This is my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist Spray. Hands down, you guys, this is the best mister on a product I've ever seen. So if you've made it this far, girl, I have a surprise for you. I'm gonna give you 2 lip options and I want you to tell me what your favorite one is down in the comments. I will be picking someone to give a mystery box full of makeup and I will be shipping that to that person. What I do want from you is it would be very helpful to have contact details. So you can just give me your IG username. Just put that down in the comments. So your Instagram username, I will pick somebody and then, yeah. So lip option number 1, I'm going to be combining the CoverGirl lip liner. This is from the Exhibitionist range that they have going on. This is the Plum Partner Liner. And I will be also combining the Exhibitionist lipstick. This is in the shade Coffee Crave. So this is the first option right here. I think that this looks beautiful, and the lip liner, FYI, from CoverGirl goes on really nice and creamy. So you have your choice between this or option number 2, which is this MAC lip liner in Chestnut, and I'm going to be combining it with this Smashbox. It's one of their liquid lipsticks in the shade Stay Neutral. And here is the brownie nude kind of vibes that I've got going on here. Very kind of 90s, but I like it too. Let me know which one is your favorite and I will definitely pick somebody from the comments and send them a nice little makeup surprise. I had so much fun sitting down and chatting with you, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you haven't checked out my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation review, definitely do so right up there. I love you guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.